What's the demographic zone? What's the age bracket there?
So Gen Zers were born between the years 1995 and 2012.
I have to tell you, I'm very skeptical of all these letters. They don't mean all that much to me. What distinguishes this group?
So yeah, so a common misconception is that anyone under the age of 30 is a millennial, and basically the whole idea of this book is to pioneer a dialogue telling people that, you know, we are different than the millennials, and as we enter the workforce, that means naturally we're gonna have to be treated different than millennials because we grew up in a different time.
I'm on your side. So you want to differentiate? You should.
Thank you.
You hate the millennials.
Can't stand them. You should differentiate yourself. I mean, you don't have one of them man buns either. Did you come in here?
Back to the hair topic now.
All about the hair.
All about that. No, well, they're insufferable. They don't leave the house.
How are you different?
Yeah.
How are we different? So boomers raised millennials, Gen Xers raised Gen Zers, and at a young age, millennials were told by their boomer parents that, you know, if they work hard with their peers and they collaborate, they can be a winner and everything's gonna be okay. And we came along, and I was told at a young age that, you know, there's 72.8 million Gen Zers, and if you're not willing to work hard, one of the other ones is gonna come along and steal your job. So naturally, we're very competitive and independent generation.
I'm a baby boomer raising Generation Zers, though, so I'm not raising.
So my kids are Zers. They're 16 and 18.
See, I'm 17. Yeah. They're right core members of Gen Z.
David, what does business need to know about this particular group?
Well, most importantly, that they're not millennials, because if we treat Gen Z like the millennials, it's going to backfire. So Jonah just talked about millennials, very collaborative generation. You compare that to this generation, not only are they competitive, but really independent. So think about the workplace today. A lot of workplaces, open office concept, that caters to collaborative millennials. But this generation, they don't like open office concept. In fact, 8% of Gen Z said they want their own office. I mean, don't like open office concept. They want their own office. And so a lot of workplaces aren't ready for this independent, competitive generation. And we anticipate a lot of clashes with collaborative millennials.
Awesome.
How many, when you start measuring how many, you said how many Gen Zers there are, how many Gen Ys, which is a bigger demographic?
Millennials are a little bit bigger at 80 million, and this is at 72.8 million, so this is still a very large generation. The leading edge is graduating college this spring and entering the workplace.
Does it bother anybody that now we're at Z? What do we do next?
Well, that's what I wonder, because my youngest is...
Your youngest is, there's no letter for him.
Yeah.
You know, World War Z was about zombies.
World War Z about zombies. The generation zombies.
And zombies.
What reaction do you get from companies when you tell them things like this?
Well, part of the challenge is that you mentioned, a lot of people are just tired of talking about millennials. There's a lot of millennial fatigue out there. So they're like, oh, now we got to get to know a new generation. And the good news is because this generation grew up with recession, they also had Gen X parents telling them it's a hard world out there. They're willing to roll up their sleeves. 75% of Gen Z said I'm willing to start at the bottom and work my way up. We're also seeing a return to loyalty.
There can be an alternative to them. And you almost sounded like you described not necessarily globalists versus nationalists, but you said you're not looking for this consensus and this takes a village, you know, crap. Your individual initiative. And earn success. And it sounds like you may be moving a little bit right.
And a lot of Gen Zers believe in the phrase, if you want it done right, do it yourself. We are a very independent generation.